Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Safe Spaces podcast on posh related topics. Today, we are going to be talking about demystifying the role of local committee in posh, and we are joined by none other than Advocate Rekha Shukla. Advocate Rekha Shukla is a legal expert and social impact professional with over 18 years of experience, currently serving as chairperson of local committee, Office of the District Magistrate, Central Delhi, addressing cases under the POSH Act. She is also on the bench of magistrates as member Child Welfare Committee South, Government of Delhi. In this role, she adjudicates cases under the Juvenile Justice Act and safeguards the rights of children in need of care and protection. Rekha serves as an external member on the internal committees across a range of institutions. She's an acclaimed POSH trainer and a consultant. She's also active in the area of community service through her association with multiple NGOs and organizations like Kaveri NGO, Anubhav Shiksha Kendra, and KD Education Society. We will also be sharing her LinkedIn profile in our communication, and you can reach out to her directly as well. The one thing I definitely found interesting when I was talking to Rekha and asked for her profile is it ended with the sentence called miles to go before I sleep. And I know that's very reflective of who Rekha is as a person. So, what does that line mean, Rekha? Want to hear from you first.
Look, we have so much to do and very little time to get it done, right? So, I am doing, as you just narrated about my resume or the profile, that from last 18 years. In fact, it's like 20 years now. So,
Hmm,
from last 20 years, I have been working and still miles to go. Lot of to be done. And if we are speaking about the POSH Act, it's a very new act. So
correct.
a lot many people are working, and I am working for this cause and for this act awareness and everything. But then again, miles to go before I sleep.
Absolutely, Rekha. Thank you for that spirit. And I think that is something that all posh practitioners can learn from that miles to go before we sleep. And I think in our pre conversation, there's one thing you said that, I'm not an expert, right? And
Thank
that
you.
definitely, it actually talks about your humility as well. As someone with 20 years of experience in the field, you know that the act is new, but you have been working on it for a while now, more than a decade, and you still say that you're not an expert. So thank you for your humility, Rekha.
Actually, why? Because as I said, no, the act is very new, and each day we are getting some kind of a judgment, precedents, and I am dealing with different kinds of cases. Even if the same office, in the same office, if we are getting cases, they both are totally different because their circumstances are different, because their scenarios are different, characters are different, nature are different of everyone around them. So no one can be expert. That is what I believe. No one can be expert. So for me, I am not the expert. I am learning.
Absolutely, and I agree with you. All of us are learning. The one thing I generally like to say to my audience is, if you were working back in 2013, you would know that the world of work was very different.
Hmm.
Uh, we didn't have as much hybrid or work from home. A lot of people used to work from office. Social media was not that prevalent. It was still days of Facebook. Instagram was still catching up. And
Yeah.
AI was not accessible to people at all at that point in time. And that has impacted our work directly, right?
Now,
So,
yes. Hmm.
yeah. So that's why I actually absolutely agree with you that all of us are learning. Every time a case comes up, it's something new that each of us also gets to learn. So today we are here to learn from you, Rekha. So I'll get started. In this podcast, we are trying to talk about the fundamentals of the POSH Act and the role of the local committee. So I'll get started. What is the role of the local committee under the POSH Act, Rekha?
As per the Act, two committees are mandatory. One is internal committee and the other one is local committee. Now, the local committee is to be constituted under every district,
Hmm.
under every district collector or district magistrate's guidance, or district officer is there. And mostly in Delhi, and yes, I will be talking, whatever I'm talking, I will be giving reference about the Delhi only, because we
Absolutely.
used to serve here in local committee. So in Delhi, there are SDMs who are the district officers,
Okay.
and this local committee is working as same way as internal committee is working.
Hmm.
They have
Hmm.
to follow the process. They have to follow the each and every step, as we have to deal with any sexual harassment at the workplace cases comes. So local
Hmm.
committee is not different. It is
Hmm.
different, of course. Its the main objective is different, so it is
Hmm.
different. But otherwise, process is same as detailed in the POSH Act, under the POSH
Oh,
Act.
understood. Understood. So in the local committee, we understand that local committee and internal committee are different. So who can approach the local committee and when?
So local committee is basically for informal women workers or unorganized sectors. First
Hmm.
point. Second, where there is less than 10 employees and there is no internal committee
Hmm.
constituted. Third, very important to be noted, that anyone, if she finds that the internal committee is faulty, and she
Hmm.
has to tell us or the local committee, while reaching out to the local committee, to why she thinks that this internal committee is faulty, then
Hmm.
also local committee can take up the case. Then again, fourth point, when any complaint is against the administrative head, employer,
Hmm.
chairman, director, who is directly controlling that unit or directly controlling that office. So you can
Hmm.
reach out to local committee. They believe, the lawmakers believe, that against chairman, against director, against the administrative head, the case will not be dealt very fairly,
Hmm. Hmm.
because internal committee comes directly under their powers.
Hmm.
So that's why cases against the heads can come to local committee.
Okay. Fair. Fair. So thank you for bringing that up, Rekha, because one place where I have seen a lot of people reach out is, my complaint is against my leadership. And I know that if I make that complaint, I am going to lose my job. Right?
Yeah.
So where should I go? And this is a very common problem because it directly impacts the career of women who are trying to
Yes.
make a complaint,
Yes.
right? So it's good to know that there is a backing for those who also want to make a complaint against their leadership, if that's the right case.
Yeah.
Uh, the next point, which I have realized, the understanding is a little varied. Say, for example, in internal committee, the outcomes are clear as it is given in the POSH Act, starting from, reprimand to an apology note or termination from services, stopping of increments. How does it work? So once the local committee has uh, conducted the inquiry, what outcome or how does the outcome?
It's also there. The recommendation part is there in the internal committee. Same way, recommendation part is there in the local committee also. The report writing is almost same. So in
Hmm.
recommendation, we can recommend, for example, if this is against any employer or the company or whatever. So either if the case is very typical and typical sexual harassment has been proved, so we can ask for the FIR. We can
Hmm.
recommend to get the FIR done.
Hmm.
Then secondly, we can ask the employer to pay some
Hmm.
amount. We can ask from the salary of that particular person, or from him. Then
Hmm.
we can ask for some sessions, some counseling sessions, some awareness sessions for that person. Such kind of recommendations we can give. So
Okay.
FIR is very big one.
Hmm.
Because otherwise, internal committee, I don't think any internal committee has came forward with the complainant to lodge the FIR.
Hmm.
But in
Hmm.
internal committee, in local committee, we used to recommend to to the SDM, to the district officer to get the FIR done.
Okay, okay. Understood, understood. Uh, so, Rekha, again, maybe not a question that we discussed earlier, but wanted to hear from you, of course, without breaking any kind of confidentiality, is what is the most common kind of complaint that you receive?
We have in local committee, I have dealt around 4, 5 cases, not many. Actually, there are very few cases comes to local committees. Informal
Hmm,
sectors never approaches. We all know they don't have any awareness, of course. And
hmm,
have dealt one case against the chairman, the other case against the employer.
okay.
So the kind of cases is same, that sexual harassment, like in one case where the employer and the complainant is the secretary. It's a very typical. She has raised the complaint. Why? Because the employer has terminated her.
Hmm,
Right.
hmm,
And
hmm,
then she has given us as a proof the past WhatsApp communication, and other matlab like that. Because if the second complaint which recently we are dealing, that the company or the employer are not giving her dues, they are
hmm,
not giving her, they have terminated again the same case, terminated illegally, and they are not hearing me out, something like that. Because main grievances is this only against the employer, that they are not dealing my cases fairly, or they have terminated me without any reasoning. So they will, I will not say all the cases are false cases,
hmm,
but majorly is like that.
hmm, hmm, hmm.
Not typical any, till date, I have not dealt with any typical sexual harassment case. It's
Okay,
basically, twice, it's basically for termination. And the other one is, it is mixed. It's a family relation also. So again,
okay,
it's for monetary benefits. That's again
okay,
because of that. And it has been settled outside the court also.
okay, okay. Fair. That brings me to maybe two questions. The first one is, do you also facilitate a conciliation or a settlement in the local committee, or is it generally inquiries?
We have not done this till date. I have not done this. I will say I will not. I have not done this, but it is
Hmm.
there. The process to go into conciliation is very much there, as it
Okay,
is available for IC. It is available for local committee also.
okay,
So we,
okay.
we, we can always ask the complainant if she wants to go for conciliation with a sorry or whatever she wants.
Hmm, 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 hmm.
Although local committee again cannot reconcile with the monetary benefits. We cannot sit and decide कि अच्छा तुम्हारा dues इतना बनता था चलो employer से अरे दे दो यार खत्म करो केस. We cannot
Huh,
do that.
huh.
So the same way we used to deal with IC committee, here is the same process.
Fair. So, adding on to what Rekha said, whether you are in the internal committee or the local committee, a settlement does not refer to a financial settlement. We've seen a lot of videos that come up on Instagram where someone says, I'll do a posh complaint against you, otherwise you just transfer your salary to me. All that is not true, doesn't happen. Financial settlement is not a part of the settlement that we talk about, right? So,
And
thank
one should not go for that. One should not agree to that. Posh complaint is not a Hawa, yaar. Please, come on. You need to understand what is Posh Act. If you
Hmm,
understand it very clearly, then the women will not file false cases under the Posh Act. The men will not be afraid or frightened or will run around if the Posh case is filed, right?
correct.
And in the, if you are saying about telling me about the Instagram ads, I have seen that after the Posh awareness session, the
Correct.
boys is going like and wherever the girl is, they are making a one hand distance or a
Absolutely.
good meters distance. It's not that. Posh is not saying to stay away, to not to talk to the girls or females. I just want to tell every man or every young boy or every working male that dignity is her right also. So if
Hmm.
we are asking her to give due respect or dignity and don't harass her or don't badger her ki let's go for drink and drive, let's go for coffee, don't do anything which is not comfortable for her. That's
Yeah.
it. It's very simple, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. And I know the videos that you're talking about because I've been forwarded so many of those videos. I wanted to share an experience that I had, right?
Yeah.
There's a friend, he's a male colleague. We've been working together for a long time, right? We chat constantly. And earlier I was in consulting and then I moved into the area of Posh. And one day he says, Anusha, you're looking nice in red. Thank you. But before I could say that, he's like, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. So what is wrong with that? I'm okay if you say I'm looking nice in red. There's nothing wrong with that. He's like, no, you're in the area of Posh, right? So to your point, yes, it's not about creating fear. It's about dignity. It's about respect. It's about awareness, right? Respondents also have their rights. They
Look,
pretty much
for
need to know. Yeah.
For this, I will say, if a girl is good, friendly with you, and you know that you used to give compliment, and she knows that compliment is does not harm anything, or he is not saying with a sexual connotation, or his intentions in for futures are to approach you or something like that, because we understand that, and we are looking for compliments when we are wearing nice things. नहीं, मैं साड़ी पहन के जाऊं अगर ऑफिस में तो मुझे पता है कि आई विल गेट वन और टू कॉम्प्लीमेंट, अरे मैडम आज साड़ी पहन के आए हो।
Uh,
Not every compliment is a posh complaint, bhai. Not every
hmm,
There's a case when a boss complimented the girl that you are looking very beautiful, you are dressed up very nicely, something like that. And girl smiled and said thank you and all that. Done. Same within a minute, the guard of that company came up and he also said in Hindi, बहुत ही बढ़िया लग रही हो मैडम आप साड़ी तो पहन के आया करो साड़ी में बहुत अच्छा लगता है हमारा. The posh complaint is against that guard, not against that boss. Why? Because the girl is comfortable with her boss, not comfortable with the guard who has joined just 2, 3, or 4 or month before. How
hmm,
come came up to me and saying, right? So
hmm,
the boys, the men need to understand कि if he is giving some compliments, so he should be very comfortable with that girl and should know that this is okay for her if I'm complimenting in a very nice, very respectful manner. Right?
hmm.
That is the, and there is a difference. Always there is a difference.
Absolutely. Just because one person is complimenting you and you are comfortable doesn't mean you will be comfortable with everyone's compliments.
Everyone. Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Absolutely, absolutely. Uh, so the one thing I wanted to understand from you, Rekha, is, and this is very common, debated across all posh practitioners, is why are men not covered under the Posh Act, right? Uh, again, uh, open to views, uh, because this is very heavily debated and is one of the first mental blocks that I see for receiving any education or awareness on fish.
Okay. Anusha, when this act, there is a history for this act, correct?
Correct.
We all know that. And the history, when the Vishakha and the other NGOs who formed these guidelines, because the guidelines which they have formed exactly same guidelines has been implemented by the Supreme Court. There is no addition, there is no deletion.
Correct.
So
Hmm.
if we are seeing from the perspective of the history or from the perspective of the female, this is a very much needed act. Okay.
Hmm.
Why this
Hmm.
is not gender neutral? Look, if you are asking my views, it's very Krantikari types views that I don't want gender neutral act. Posh
Hmm.
Act is woman centric and it should be woman centric act.
Hmm.
हम लोग अगर केसेस देखें, if we go by the number of cases, कितनी फीमेल बॉसेस अप्रोच करती हैं मेल को फॉर द सेक्सुअल फेवर्स?
Hmm.
मेरे
Hmm.
पास तो अभी तक एचआर के पास तो अगर नहीं भी आया तो आई डोंट नो, है ना?
Hmm.
रेशियो अगर हम देखें, इफ विल गो बाय द रेशियो, अब डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस का केसेस, डाउरी के केसेस फीमेल सेंट्रिक लॉज क्यों बने हैं? अगेन द सेम डिबेट। हर जगह महिलाओं के लिए सीट रिजर्व है, क्यों लिखा होता है इन मेट्रोज, इन बस, इन एवरी महिला? भाई यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि दैट वुमेन इज अ वीकर सेक्शन। वो वीकर सेक्शन पास्ट में भी थी, वो वीकर सेक्शन आज भी है। रेप महिलाओं का ही हो रहा है, ऑफ कोर्स सेक्सुअल असॉल्ट बच्चों का हो रहा है। मेजर जो बड़े हैं, जो ऑफिस में काम कर रहे हैं, उनका सेक्सुअल असॉल्ट नहीं होता है। मेल पर्सन की इफ आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट, उनका सेक्सुअल असॉल्ट नहीं होता है। तो यहाँ पर अगर इफ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द वुमेन सेंट्रिक एक्ट, व्हाई द पॉश एक्ट इज अ वुमेन सेंट्रिक एक्ट, इट इज मच नीडेड। और वुमेन सेंट्रिक ही इसको रहने दो प्लीज, इसको गड़बड़ मत करो, क्योंकि फिर इतने केसेस आएंगे, केसेस की बाढ़ आ जाएगी कि उसने मुझे डांटा, पॉश एक्ट हो गया, उसने मुझ पर चिल्लाया, 4 लोग, पॉश एक्ट हो गया। This is not posh act. We need to understand this also, and we need to make females also understand this. This is not posh act. Right? तो अभी अगर वुमेन सेंट्रिक बनाया है तो उसका रीजन है, अगर रिजर्वेशन है तो उसका रीजन है, अगर वुमेन की सीट्स रिजर्व रखी गई हैं, 33% रिजर्वेशन के लिए हम आज पॉलिटिक्स में लड़ रहे हैं, तो उसका रीजन है। सो जितने भी इफ वी आर द वुमेन फोर्स, आज भी हमारे यहाँ ऑफिसेज में वी से कि 40% हो गई, नहीं 40% नहीं हुई है। आज भी यू गो टू टियर 3 सिटीज, जस्ट गो एंड वॉच द ऑफिस, कितनी फीमेल्स बैठी होंगी वहां पर, राइट? टियर 1 टियर 2 सिटी छोड़ दो आप, डोंट टॉक अबाउट टियर 1 cities, go to tier 3 and tier 4 cities. So this posh act is not for Bangalore, Delhi or Mumbai. This posh act is for the whole pan India. And in pan India, there is a city called Meerut also. There is a city called Jumri Talaiya also. There is a city called a small Barabanki also, right?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
we should not debate on this, and this is we should accept it that this act has been there where a female can freely come up and file her complaint. Because मेरे घर में भी हमारे जो पुरुष हैं, हमारे जो मेल हैं, they will never suggest to go and file a complaint in the police, right? हम लोग नहीं करते हैं ना।
Absolutely.
The only thing for the females, the only solution for the females are quit the job or see for some other job. ये हम लड़कों के साथ तो नहीं बोलते ना। अगर किसी बॉस ने डांटा, अगर बॉस ने चिल्लाया, अगर कुछ भी ऐसा हुआ है, तो we don't suggest the male person to quit the job and sit at home. हम खिलाएंगे तुमको। Who says that? But females के लिए आज भी यही है। Even today we females fear of losing our job. They need some very quick kind of a redressal mechanism, which is there under the POSH Act. So let it be a female-centric, women-centric act, and it should remain like this for coming years. Maybe after a decade or 2 decades, we'll see to make it gender neutral. Make your HR policy na gender neutral. Why you are behind this POSH Act? Why you cannot understand to respect a woman? Why you don't want yourself to change? Why you want the act to change? So you have the authorities. You can go to HR. You can go anywhere. This redressal mechanism with the time frame is for some purpose, so that female can get the justice immediately. She should not. She don't have to wait for years. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. In fact, I'm breaking down a couple of things you said. Firstly, organizations can make a policy, and nobody's saying that just because POSH Act covers only women doesn't mean that others can be sexually harassed. It just means that the act's coverage is only for women, while organizations can definitely choose to act on for other genders also when they're sexually harassed. Nobody, so it's not an unfair act. There is a history to it. I feel that the data points are not there when it comes to POSH cases, but the easiest way I actually ask people is talk to any of the female colleagues that you know or friends that you have. and talk to them about their daily experiences, even simpler
Yeah.
things, right? There was a research that was done. There was a picture that was shown. It's a dark railway track, right? And the same picture was shown to men and women, and they were just observing where men are looking and where women are looking. Right? Men were looking only at the track. That is a train coming or not. If you look at what the women were seeing, the women were seeing around. They're not afraid
Around
of the
them.
train. They're like, train, we will manage. But we are not sure what's going to come from any of the directions.
Yeah.
There are scientific studies which talk about the difference of women's experiences versus men's experiences. The other thing, like, this is a chat with a friend. She says, I never go in a cab. I go in an auto, generally.
I also have.
So she said that. So I asked in a different session on women's safety that, a friend of mine said that, she prefers going by auto and not by a cab. Why do you think that's the case? They're like, it's easier to jump out. Or if you scream, people can hear you. And that is the top of the mind for a woman. Right? And you cannot explain it in words because you're experiencing this since childhood. Trust me, I have not met even a single
And
woman who is not
everywhere,
harassed.
everywhere, what
Every-
bus, train, road, everywhere, everywhere. Yeah. So we should not debate on this, and I think male fraternity should not debate on this. They should be very supportive, but they are
Hmm,
not. They are afraid. I don't know why they are afraid of this Posh Act.
hmm,
You act accordingly. You act with dignity. You give respect. You don't create fuss. You don't make other women uncomfortable. Why you have to make her uncomfortable so that the Posh Act will be levied on you, that we can file a case against you? What is the what is that fear? What is that
hmm,
which you are not able to change in yourself?
hmm, hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. And I think this is a debate that happens across multiple post training. So I thought even the consultants who are hearing this conversation should have some views of their own as well, but they'll definitely benefit from your views, Rekha. Uh, the other thing, right, is, and this is a common dialogue I've heard across multiple organizations, wanted to hear your reflection, which is, we have no posh cases in our company. We are like a family. And there is this sense of pride. I'm very proud of it. I have zero posh cases. What are your thoughts on
First thing I always used to tell: don't make your office your family. Don't make your subordinate your didi, bhaiya, or behan, or girlfriend or friend. Please,
it? Hmm, hmm,
professional and personal life is different.
hmm,
Let it be like that. Family
hmm,
नहीं होती है कोई, ठीक है ना?
hmm,
So
hmm,
if there is no posh cases, either that office is a very small office with
hmm,
just 10, 12, 20, 25 people.
hmm,
In such scenarios, I believe, because the employer is seeing everyone and knows everyone,
hmm,
everyone knows each other.
hmm,
So in such scenarios, I believe that there is no posh cases. Okay, because सब लोग हंस बोल रहे हैं and they all are in a good conversations or relationships. Secondly, the scenarios where there is no complaint is the office is in one room where everyone is sitting
hmm,
same way, that everyone is knowing whatever you are saying to that girl, everyone is hearing, or something like that, vice versa. Again, your employer and everyone is looking at you. So
hmm,
everything is going on smooth, no problem.
hmm,
Otherwise, if the company is more than 100 people or employees, I
hmm,
don't believe, and the female ratio is also like good. Say
hmm,
20 females are working
hmm,
if there is 100 employees.
hmm,
So there must be something.
hmm,
Either the complaint is not reaching to you, or
hmm,
you are not very
hmm,
observant of your employees.
hmm, 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 hmm.
हो ही
Absolutely.
नहीं सकता that it's not possible अनुषा कि
Hmm,
पॉस्ट कंप्लेंट या कुछ ऐसी बदतमीजी या कुछ ऐसा कि अप्रोच किया हो किसी ने, चलो फ्रेंड्स बन जाए, या इंस्टाग्राम पे स्टॉक किया हो, या फेसबुक पे स्टॉक ना किया हो, या कहीं, आई डोंट बिलीव दिस।
हम्म
अगर हम फीमेल से हम लोग, जैसे अभी हम लोग बात कर रहे थे, हर जगह वी हैव टू लुक अराउंड।
हम्म
तो 100-200 लोगों की एम्प्लॉयज की कंपनी में ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है कि दैट नो वन हैज अप्रोच्ड अ फीमेल एम्प्लॉय विद to become pally or to become friends, which she does not want,
हम्म
even if there is one single message,
हम्म
or your a non-verbal conduct that you are standing very close, or you have the habit of um, that tapping or something. That's not possible. That's not
हम्म
possible. So that means you as an employer is
हम्म
is not working for your employees, or you are not very good with, as a, or not a very good employer, I will say. You are
हम्म
not giving the posh awareness sessions, which they know there is no committee where they can approach.
हम्म
Something or the other problem is there, that the females don't know how to approach, where to approach, what to do in such cases. Because
हम्म
in today's world also, जहाँ पॉश एक्ट को इतने साल हो चुके हैं, over a decade, I heard कि मुझे तो पता ही नहीं था कहाँ करना है complaint. Whenever
absolutely
we used, because they used to tell the incident of a year back.
हम्म
उस समय complaint, मैम मुझे तो पता ही नहीं था कहाँ complaint करना है. And so all these things we used to hear. That means problem वहाँ उस company में है, उस organization में है. The problem is with the employer.
Absolutely, absolutely. Uh, in fact, I have seen employers put in earnest effort to educate people. Still, I have seen experiences where people don't remember where to make the complaint, right? I generally ask in my sessions, do you know which email ID you can reach out to, or who's your presiding officer, or who are the members? You will see that one HR person or the person in the committee typing
Yes.
the details. Uh, and these are organizations who posted big posters at every cafeteria saying, this is where you can reach out, here is the QR code. But yes, to your point, absolutely, it could be awareness issue, it could be trust issue as well, knowing that even if I make a complaint, nothing is going to happen,
Nothing will happen. Yes.
or it might
Or the female will quit the job, find something else without telling anyone anything.
correct. So again, wanted to capture the spirit of Posh Act based on what you're saying. Is it's not just about redressal of sexual harassment. It's prevention and prohibition, and it cannot come at the cost of career opportunities, right? So I have seen organizations who are saying, "Arey, pura Posh Act, ab women aayenge to we'll have to invest additional in safety. We'll have to do this. We'll have to do that." Might as well not hire, right? And that is not the spirit of the act that we are looking at. So, any thoughts on that, Rekha? Any experience around it?
नहीं, experience तो बहुत है, but the thing is, right, there is, if you are saying that we will not hire females, that is also, how many companies are like that? You want receptionists, even if you are employing one female, or even if you are not employing one single female, someone is coming to your office. We
Sitting.
can also file a posh complaint. So if you are saying that I am not hiring any female, and then how can you stop someone to come to your office? Right?
Correct.
Then also the posh complaint can come. So
Ab-
employers must understand that posh act applies whether you have a female employee or not, or you don't have a female employee. So
Correct.
don't make such excuses in this era, please. Again, you are not respecting female. If you are saying that I don't want to hire any female because posh act or ye jhanjat or wo, that means again you have that mindset, that colonial or orthodox mindset, that means you are not progressive. And if you are not progressive, I will say that company will never progress. Show me one very good company which has reached to the top without having a single female, either the volunteer or the contractual worker or the employee or anyone. भाई आपके घर में माँ है, आप कल के दिन बोलोगे माँ को मुझे रखना ही नहीं है, माँ माँ के पास से पेट से निकलना ही नहीं है, इज दैट अ ऑप्शन? No, na. So, female workforce is there and female are now coming forward. So this is not an option कि आप नहीं रखोगे और पॉश एक्ट नहीं होगा, पॉश एक्ट तब भी हो सकता है बॉस,
Absolutely.
right? So, this is absurd. Actually, whoever is saying this, na, this is absurd. They don't know पॉश एक्ट.
Absolutely.
यही वो कुछ लोग हैं. These are few people who are making this like a हुआ.
Absolutely. So, again, clarifying based on what Rekha said, POSH Act is applicable to you even if you don't have female employees. You will have clients, vendors, somebody who's supporting you, even somebody who's just physically in your office visiting you. You may be in a co-working space. It it could be anybody, a job seeker, an intern,
Correct.
anybody you're interacting with, a trader who has come in for a couple of hours, it doesn't matter. All of them have the rights to make a POSH complaint. So if you're a POSH consultant, please remember this. If somebody is challenging you, you, you can refer to the aggrieved woman section under the POSH Act so that you understand this better. Right. Rekha, maybe again, you may not have the statistics around this, but just wanted to hear your experience. Last year, Supreme Court also asked the Labour Office to be involved when it comes to POSH Act implementation. And in my experience as well, I have seen a lot of large organizations also not implement POSH Act per se. So, do you think that has changed the outlook towards POSH implementation, this verdict by the Supreme Court?
You know what? Recently, in Delhi, there is a national posh conclave. First ever in the decade, over a decade. So, do you think they are very serious about Posh Act? Where have you seen the advertisement by the government agency about the Posh Act? I have not seen.
I have not.
Right? न्यूज़पेपर में एड्स पॉलिटिशियंस के आ रहे हैं, पॉश एक्ट के क्यों नहीं आ रहे हैं? Right? If you want to spread awareness, if you are serious, if the government, if the district is serious about the POSH Act for its implementation, why the Supreme Court has to tell again and again? This case, Aurelio wala case, is
Aurelio
going on
Fernandez.
since long, right? 2024 में एक बार डायरेक्टिव निकला था, 2025 में दूसरा डायरेक्टिव निकला, 6 जनवरी 2026 को अगेन एमिकस क्यूरी ने जो सबमिट किया कि सारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स को दे हैव टू गिव द सर्वे रिपोर्ट,
Correct.
they have to give the on affidavit, every state and every union territories. 4 ने अभी तक नहीं दिया. 4
I
names
know.
were there. One name is of Delhi also. I'm very it's not very good to say this, but nahi diya. So the survey, they want to have a survey to look whether the IC committee is in place and the LC committee has been constituted. Recently, we have a consultation, we have a workshop in Delhi from the Delhi WCD, Women and Child Department. And there also again 2 or 3 districts said that local committee was not formed because they are in the process. Since that long, again you are saying that local committee has not been formed. Right? So gaps are there, problems are there. Now I will tell you the problems. Right? Constituting IC committee or LC committee is not the only compliance.
Correct.
Our district magistrates, our district authorities, or the states, or the union territories, or the government is looking just to have that on the affidavit that yes, we are complying. That yes, what you are complying, forming IC committees. Let us do a survey. Anusha, if we'll do a survey for 10 companies, I guarantee you that 2 या 3 में तो external member गलत ही पाए जाएंगे.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
So, where is the compliance? So, constituting IC or LC on papers is something else, and implementing the POSH Act in totality, in letter or spirit, is something else.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, My government is not working towards the POSH Act implementation in totality. Because ये affidavit government से मांगा गया था, so they are pressurizing to their own institutions, own offices, government offices कि submit करो. They are not asking from the private organizations. Private organization के पास में एक option है. They have to give the that their IC committee is formed. She box में registration कर दो. कितने लोगों ने registration किया है? I have the data for Delhi. Yeah, I have the data for Delhi because I've been connected. I cannot reveal that data, no? I have the data. है ही नहीं, registration ही नहीं हो रहे हैं. अगर हो भी रहे हैं तो approvals नहीं हो रहे. Some or the other problem is there. So, POSH Act implementation in totality needs your clear, good conscious, your good intentions and good hard work, your willpower, your hard work. And alone, they will not. Unless and until there is a heavy fine, they will not do. Private organizations को क्यों CS का फोन आता है मेरे पास में, CEO CS का, who do the auditing in the organization.
Correct.
ऐसी कमेटी बनाने, आपका नाम रख दें, क्यों भाई? मेरा नाम क्या हलवा पूड़ी है या चना है? सब जगह बांट दो. They used to ask, मैडम करना था. अच्छा, अवेयरनेस का वो भी हम कराएंगे मैम, वो भी हम कराएंगे.
हाँ.
अभी जब थोड़ा सा प्रेशर पड़ा है तो फिर CEO CS is looking for some name और some छोटा मोटा name who will not raise anything, who will not say anything कि भाई अवेयरनेस सेशन क्यों नहीं कराया. हम जैसे लोगों को तो नहीं रखेंगे ना, हम लोग will keep asking, हाँ भाई कहाँ है तुम्हारा.
हाँ, absolutely.
अभी it will take time for the POSH Act implementation unless and until हमारा गवर्नमेंट बहुत स्ट्रिक्टली कुछ इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के लिए स्ट्रिक्ट वो नहीं करता है. बिकॉज मेरे एक डीएम को मैंने ऑडिटिंग के लिए बोला था कि ऑडिटिंग कराइए अपने डिस्ट्रिक्ट में. छोटा डिस्ट्रिक्ट होता है. योर डिस्ट्रिक्ट ask the labor department to give all the registered companies, let the private person or the resource person do the auditing. No, madam, we have no authority on the private organizations. We can do for our government offices only. That means if your government office has the IC and LC, you don't want to see beyond that, and you are not concerned about the female worker of your district. Right? क्योंकि आप एज अ डीएम या आप एज अ WCD डिपार्टमेंट, हर एक फीमेल की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी इज योर्स. WCD के डायरेक्टर ने बहुत अच्छा एक चीज बोला इन द प्रोग्राम, दैट every female in Delhi females, we are answerable to Delhi females. तो अकाउंटेबिलिटी भी लेनी पड़ेगी, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी भी लेनी पड़ेगी एंड इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के लिए क्लियर इंटेंशंस भी रखने पड़ेंगे. आपने हेलमेट लगाने के लिए फाइन कर दिया 1000-2000 जो भी फाइन था. अभी आप देखेंगे सब लोग हेलमेट लगाते हैं, चाहे बाल खराब हो रहे हो चाहे नाक खराब हो रहे हो. Even females riding two bikers, two wheelers, they have to have a helmet. Correct. तो इसके पहले अगर मैं याद करूं बैक 10 years back और 15 years back, हेलमेट was not compulsory. कंपल्सरी किया ना. रेड लाइट जिस दिन आप जंप करते हैं आपको ऊपर फाइन आता है, नेक्स्ट टाइम से आप रेड लाइट के पीछे खड़े होते हो. यू विल नॉट जंप द रेड लाइट. अरे भैया कहीं खड़े होंगे कोने में, पकड़ लेंगे. पकड़ लेते हैं तो भी 500 रुपए आप देते हो. अरे सर सॉरी जाने दीजिए, 2000 का, बिकॉज चालान इज फॉर ₹2000 और 1000. सो दिस फियर इज देयर. नो, पुलिस का फियर है यहाँ पर. पुलिस का फियर नहीं है यहाँ पर, फाइन का फियर नहीं है. तो फाइन, how to levy fines on the defaulting organizations? We have to find them, no? Absolutely. We have the data with the labor department. What labor department is doing? Why they are not taking these steps? Of course, office में, government offices में बहुत कम employees होते हैं, so they don't have that time. तो I'm saying ना कि आप outsource करो ना काम. We are not saying कि आप जाके auditing करो या आप जाके check करो. Outsource that. Let them pay. Let the private organizations pay for that.
Absolutely.
Again, वो कब होगा आई डोंट नो, बट आई एम बिहाइंड दिस कि हो जाए ऑडिटिंग वाला कॉन्सेप्ट.
हाँ, I actually agree with you, and I'm in a state where I think it's so we don't even get acknowledgements for our annual reports right now. So different states are functioning at very different levels, and I'm actually hoping that with Shebox centralizing the data, it might be a step in the right direction.
It will take time.
It will absolutely take time. People are still struggling to get registered. Uh, but what you are saying, right, that the fear has to be real. Like 50,000 is now not a big deal for organizations. Probably it was a big deal in 2013. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. Uh, the real fear of, I will not get my business license if I'm not compliant with the POSH Act. That kind of fear is not there, right?
Yeah, correct.
So the consequences of not following the act is barely there. They're like, huh, okay, we've been there for 15 years. Somebody actually asked me, is this a part of CSR? And no, it is not a part of CSR. You're expected to be compliant as soon as you have 10 employees or more. Right? You're expected to be there, but it's still the auditing part where the fear is not real. And I actually had to deal with one case where the organization had not formed the internal committee and somebody reached out to me. Right. And we went to the police as well. We went to the local committee as well. But any thoughts on, say, if there is somebody who's sexually harassed and, they have not formed the internal committee, the company, right? What would you recommend to them?
50,000 fine, so for sure. If the female is, yes, if the female has approached us and it's more than 10 employees company, definitely the 50,000 fine will be there. And what else? We have to take up the cases in such scenarios if the internal committee is not there. And we'll give some time frame to constitute the committee, and then give us the report in 3 months that awareness session has been done with all the employees. These two things, again, if he defaults, again the 50,000 is fine. If twice or thrice the fine is levied, then the license will be cancelled.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, for all those who are listening to this podcast, if you are dealing with a case where a committee has not been formed in the organization, please do reach out to the local committee. They will support you in this matter in terms of ensuring that the organization is forming their internal committee and they're compliant in terms of not just forming the committee, but awareness sessions as well. Right? And compliance in the right spirit. Okay, so I think, Rekha, it has been amazing talking to you. Just wanted to hear from you about what would be your advice for any of the POSH consultants who are coming in based on your experience. Any parting words?
Look, getting training or getting a certificate, POSH trainer certificate or whatever certificate does not guarantee that you are a good POSH practitioner or POSH trainer. Unless and until you will deal the cases of same line, sexual harassment at the workplace, you will not or you will never come to know what exactly is the POSH Act. So, for the freshers or the POSH practitioner, as many cases if you are in external committees, if the cases are not coming, so you should be you are there to make the process diligently. They should follow the process diligently. You are the one person who should be very well aware with the processes. Right? Then you must, if you are reading the POSH Act, you will not come to know each and every nuances of that, because POSH Act is defined in some pages only. Procedure is not there. You have to see the procedure. You have to check the things. in the Bear Act, if you check the Bear Act or the Government Gazette, the procedure is not there.
It's not there,
Secondly,
yes. Huh.
very important that IC committee is if you the complainant or the respondent is coming before the IC committee, they are not court. So posh practitioners should not mingle the court cases like a court cases or the criminal cases as posh cases.
Hmm.
We deal
Hmm.
it differently,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Evidence Act or evidence law or the witness law, these all does not apply with the IC committee. IC committee has been given a flexibility. They have been given a leniency. They can decide, they can recommend. Please, so please don't think that the way you will present your case in the court, you have to deal this in the same way. क्या सबूत है आपके पास में? Where is the witness? Please. So if you are a good posh practitioner, you have to bifurcate these two: court cases and IC committee and the cases in front of IC committee.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This is meant, and learn as much as you can, read judgments as many as you can. Of course, you attend different this sessions and awareness sessions and whatever. So if you want to learn Posh Act, keep learning. After 1 or 2 sessions, don't think you are an expert or you know everything about the Posh Act. Keep reading about any cases which is there in the on the internet or the newspapers or whatever. Then only you will come to know the different type of cases. Each case is unique case. We used to say, na, each case is unique case. Then only we'll come to know. And take time, take time. Don't rush that एक बार को session लेकर certificate लेके you'll start saying that I am the posh expert trainer or consultant or good to go as an external member or LC member. No, you need to have a experience first.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think those are golden words coming in from Rekha. Keep learning. It's a very small act, and the more experience you get, the more you will learn. Read the act, read the posh rules, understand the applicability, and keep reading the judgments. And also, do not hesitate to ping somebody who's been in this field for a while, who's been practicing for a while, and ask your questions. In my experience, most people are quite welcoming in terms of the kind of information they share, the experience they share, and together we will be able to build a safer world. That's what I'm looking at. So thank you, Rekha. Thank you for your time. And for all the listeners, thank you for being here. And we will keep coming up with more episodes on this podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anusha. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.